Hey everybody. A trend I've been kind of seeing in a few of vlogs that we've been linking back and forth to each other on has been about storytelling, which is something that's always kind of front and center in my mind, um, especially recently because I'm working on writing the fifth issue of my comic, See You in Hell. Um, and I thought I could show you today just how to do a basic three-act structure. Um, it's pretty simple. Act 1, setup. Act 2, rising action. Act 3, resolution. Act 2 can also be confrontation. Um, you can take most movies put out by Hollywood today and get it down to the minute when each of those acts change. Now that I've said that, I've probably ruined entertainment for you because you're going to be looking for it all the time now. But the three act structure is really simple and it's pretty straightforward. You can use tighter methods of breaking down a story with more steps in between. Sometimes that helps you. Sometimes it helps you get lost in a hurry. But it will work. Anyways, I'm going to break down the three act structure for Star Wars really quick because I feel like most people have seen that, and it's a pretty straightforward three act structure. So, Act 1, the setup, we get to know Luke, Leia, the robots, the droids, R2D2 and C3PO, Darth Vader. We know what's at stake. There's plans. Obi-Wan shows up. Then we hit plot point 1, and plot point 1 is when everything changes, and it is exactly a fourth of the way through the movie. And you can figure this out for yourself. If you take the actual runtime minus the credits for any given movie, split it in the fourths, you'll be able to see plot point 1 and plot point 2 almost to the minute. Star Wars is pretty close, but it's around there. So then, plot point 1 is when everything changes, and in Star Wars, that's when Luke discovers that Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru are dead. So there's nothing keeping him on Tatooine anymore, so he can leave. Plot point 2, the rest of Act 2 is them, getting captured, escaping Tatooine, getting captured, fighting through the Death Star, trying to escape. And plot point 2 then happens when Obi-Wan dies. So now his mentor is gone, and Luke has to figure out how to get through the rest of the story by himself, by using the Force, something that he's been working through the entire film. So plot point 2 is exactly when Obi-Wan dies. And then you have the resolution, putting everything that he's learned into practice, essentially, learning to trust the Force. You can do this with just about any movie, especially put out by Hollywood. You can break it down in the Force, and you can see exactly where plot point 1 and plot point 2 are, which then you can work backwards from there to kind of figure out, okay, this is everything that happened in Act 1, this is everything that happened in Act 2, and this is everything that happened in Act 3. I've used this same structure for landing pages on websites, trying to get you to sign up for a newsletter or promote an ebook or something like that. I've used it just in general for pages on a website. I've used it even in simple illustrations, trying to tell a story through a single image. It can be done. It's tough. I think probably one of the best people to ever done it was a cartoonist by Charles Addams, who created the Addams Family. He's got some brilliant one-page or one-panel comics that are just like so much story is in one illustration. It's nuts. So if you want to take that and try to apply it to your vlogs, you could think about what you want to talk about that day, and then kind of work backwards from there and how you get to that part where you're talking about it. And you can kind of start, once you start seeing examples of the three-act structure, I think you're going to start to see it everywhere. But we naturally want to tell stories anyway. Don't feel like, well, I'm not that creative, because that's not true. Everyone is very creative. Human beings, it's built into them to be creative. Everyone can do it. Most people give up on doing it at a certain point in their life, but up until like 8, 9, 10, as kids, we're all coloring, we're all painting, we're all exploring, we're all trying to tell stories. It is something that you can practice, and it is teachable, and it is learnable. You can get better at it, and the more that you do it, the better that you will get at it. Which is why I think a lot of you that are just starting out with vlogging with the DJI Action 5 Pro and Action 4 Pro, you're getting better at storytelling than you think. And we naturally know when something is not quite right, and we'll try to fix it in the story. I think most of the videos I've been seeing, or the vlogs I've been seeing lately, have been, your instincts are taking over, and they're doing really well, honestly. So, but that's just something you can use to think about. The three-act structure, pretty straightforward. There's tons of different story structures. If you're unfamiliar with how to do this yourself, maybe just stick with the three-act structure for now. I like it. I still use it. It's fine. I could do a buildings roman at some point, but I'm getting a little long in the tooth there for that. There are many other types of stories, but the three-act structure is a classic for a reason, and a lot of people stick with it. So, and your viewers are going to recognize it too. They'll know what that is. Anyway, that's it for today. I gotta get back to it. Talk soon. Thanks.